Think of the 4th of July, and a very specific image comes to mind. Red, white, and blue bunting, community parades, and a country taking a unified day off to celebrate a settled historical fact. Curious, but look closer at the history, and that uniform patriotism disappears. The memory of 1776 has rarely been a peaceful inheritance. It has always been a contested space where different groups fight over what the revolution actually meant. If American independence was permanently secured centuries ago, why have citizens spent every generation since fighting over who actually gets to claim the holiday? This makes the 4th less of a simple birthday party and more of a recurring effort to decide what the country is supposed to be. Almost immediately after the ink dried on the Declaration, the consensus broke apart. In the early days of the Republic, rival political factions quickly realized that whoever controlled the narrative of the Revolution held the most influence in the present. Early Americans didn't always celebrate together. Instead, they often held rival rallies on the same day, with each group claiming they were the only ones truly following the founders' vision. While politicians argued over policy, a much deeper contradiction remained. Millions of enslaved people were living under a system that denied them the very rights being toasted at holiday dinners. In 1852, the abolitionist Frederick Douglass stepped up to a podium in Rochester, New York, and delivered a speech titled, "What to the Slave is the 4th of July?" He pointed directly at the gap between the nation's promise of freedom and the reality of the American experience for Black citizens. His critique wasn't a rejection of the day's values. It was a demand that the country do the work to fulfill them. Today, that fight for ownership takes a different form. For many, American identity isn't something they were born with. It's something they've actively chosen. Every year, dozens of naturalization ceremonies are held across the country, specifically on the 4th of July. For these new citizens, the holiday marks a day of becoming, the moment they officially joined the American experiment. There is a sharp contrast between inheriting a national identity by accident of birth and making a deliberate, legal choice to adopt those values as your own. In this context, claiming the 4th of July isn't just about looking at the past. It's about making a current commitment to the nation's future. Eventually, the grand ideas of the revolution filter down into local community pageantry. National history becomes personal history, shifting from public squares into family backyards and neighborhood traditions. These rituals, the BBQs, the neighborhood parades, the local fireworks, are how most people claim their own piece of the holiday. When the sun goes down and millions look up at the sky together, the celebration brings all these different perspectives, the political debates, the chosen identities, and the family memories into one shared moment. The 4th of July remains a living record. It belongs to whoever is doing the current work to define what independence means in our own time.